All right, today we're diving into a really powerful protocol for mental performance straight out of Stanford. It's called the dopamine protocol, and it's all about resetting your focus and your drive. Now, this isn't just another biohack you'd find online. This is a specific method developed in Stanford's neuroscience labs designed to help you reclaim your focus by working with your brain's own chemistry, not fighting against it. But before we get to the protocol itself, we have to fix a huge misunderstanding. You see, most of us have been taught to think about dopamine in a way that's, well, completely wrong. And that one mistake is a big reason so many of us feel totally burned out. We've all heard it, right? Dopamine is the pleasure molecule. But that's a myth. The science is clear. Dopamine isn't about the pleasure you get from the reward. It's the molecule of pursuit. It's that feeling of drive, that craving, that motivation that makes you want to get up and go after the reward. That's the key. It's what makes you act. And this distinction, it is so critical that this exact principle is what they use in elite performance labs. This is how they help top-tier athletes and executives manage their drive, sustain that high level of performance, and dodge the bullet of burnout. So that brings us to the big problem, doesn't it? In our world of nonstop notifications, endless scrolling, and instant gratification, what actually happens when our motivation system is just constantly, perpetually overloaded? The answer really lies in understanding this concept of your dopamine baseline. You can think of it like the idle setting on an engine, or maybe a thermostat for your ambition. It's your default level of dopamine. It's what determines how motivated you feel on just a regular day, with nothing special going on. So here's the trap. When we're constantly spiking our dopamine with all these high stimulation activities, we're not just getting a temporary high, we're actually lowering that baseline. Your brain adapts, and it starts to need more and more just to feel, well, normal. And that is the biological root of burnout. It's a dysregulated baseline that leaves you feeling flat, uninspired, and just plain unmotivated. But here's the really cool part. Stanford researchers found a way to recalibrate this system, a simple, practical protocol that only takes 10 minutes. So let's break down the exact steps. Okay, here's the drill. It's a simple 3-step process. Step 1, a 10-minute stimulation fast. That means you find a quiet place, and for 10 minutes, there are no external inputs. No phone, no music, no podcasts, not even food. You just sit or stand quietly. Step 2, breath stabilization. A simple box breath is perfect for this. You inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. It's incredibly effective at calming the nervous system. And finally, step 3 is a controlled sensory reset. The easiest way is to gently close your eyes and focus only on the physical sensation of your breath. Each step is deliberate, precise. Now look, just going through the motions is one thing, but understanding why this simple protocol is so effective, that's what turns it into a real tool. So let's peek under the hood at the neuroscience. What's actually happening in your brain during these 10 minutes? The technical term is dopamine baseline recalibration. It sounds fancy, but the idea is actually super simple. By intentionally depriving yourself of external stimulation, you're giving your dopamine receptors a break. You're allowing them to reset their sensitivity. This means you start to need less stimulation to feel motivated, which effectively raises your baseline back to where it should be. Okay, here's where it gets really important. The protocol itself is only half the story. There is a massive trap that almost everyone falls into right after these 10 minutes are up. And if you fall for it, you pretty much negate all the benefits. First, you have to understand that the 10-minute window isn't a random number. The researchers are very clear on this. More is not better. Trying to push a dopamine fast for too long can actually have the opposite effect. It creates a kind of slingshot that works against you. Precision is the key here. And that leads us to the single biggest mistake. The one critical point of failure you absolutely have to avoid. The second those 10 minutes end, your system is incredibly sensitive. The absolute worst thing you can do is immediately flood your brain with a high dopamine hit, like grabbing your phone or eating junk food. All that does is train your brain to crave a huge reward after a period of calm, which creates a really vicious cycle. The right move? Ease back into your day with something low stimulation. Organize your desk, look out the window for a minute, let your system adjust. So you see, real mastery isn't just about doing the reset. It's about consciously managing those moments right after. Think of this as a tool you can pull out anytime, right before a big work session, or maybe in that afternoon slump. When you get this right, you're not just fighting burnout anymore. You are fundamentally retraining your brain's entire motivation system. And the payoff for mastering this, it's huge. We're talking about a serious reduction in that feeling of chronic burnout, an increase in what's called intrinsic motivation. That's the drive to do things just for the sake of doing them. You'll get back that ability to really sustain deep focus. And ultimately, you're the one in control of your own drive. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. This isn't about pleasure, it's about power. The power to direct your own attention, your own energy, towards what actually matters to you. If you can learn to control your dopamine, you learn to control your drive. So the only question left is, what will you do with that control? If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure you subscribe. In our next explainer, we're going to break down the protocol that Navy SEALs use to manage stress and stay calm under extreme pressure. You don't want to miss that.